Well, it's finally happening. Bo Bichette's true free agent value is coming into focus, and it might shock Blue Jays fans. Jeff Passan just recently came out and said, going into last season, guys, we were talking about Bo Bichette as a $300 million player. Like, not even a question, right? Like, that's who he is. He plays shortstop, and he hits 300 every year, and he's gonna reach free agency in his 20s, and he's gonna get 300 plus million. It's gonna be Trey Turner. At this point, I still think he's a $100 million player, but is that even a contract he's gonna sign? Or is he gonna go on like one of those short-term deals laden with opt-outs just to try and maximize that good year that he anticipates having at some point? Whoa, hold up. Bo Bichette on a one-year short-term deal, that was never supposed to be in the cards for that guy, but now Jeff Passan, literally the GOAT baseball insider, is saying that it might be on the table for him. So why all of a sudden has there been this big change in Bo Bichette's value, and what does that mean for the Toronto Blue Jays and their chances of extending him? What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. In this one, we're going to be diving into the latest updates surrounding Bo Bichette that really could change the outlook of his potential future with Toronto. Before we get into it, I encourage you guys to hit that like and smash the subscribe button if you enjoy Blue Jays content and discussion so you don't miss any future videos. Alright folks, let's get into it. So, Bo Bichette and his future with the Toronto Blue Jays has been a huge question mark pretty much ever since last season. Last year, it was reported several times that there may have been some animosity between Bo Bichette and the management, and it was even reported by Bob Nightingale that Bo Bichette was as good as gone from the Toronto Blue Jays. But this, of course, was when everyone was thinking that Bo Bichette was going to be a $200 or $300 million guy, and his list of suitors was going to be very long. That, though, might not be the case anymore. Jeff Passan went on to say, now, I don't know if that good year is going to come around anymore. Like, we have seen him at points this year hit for average, but we have not seen the power. And that, to me, was always what made Bo Bichette a special player. It was the ability at his size to take the ball to the opposite field and over the fence. Very, very rare quality, especially for a shortstop to have, especially for a guy his height and weight. But he had it, and that part seems to have more or less disappeared, and without power, he's just an average at best defensive shortstop who puts up batting average and doesn't walk. And that guy right there, that's not somebody teams are going to be crawling all over themselves to sign. Now, that's kind of a harsh assessment of Bo Bichette, but Passan, if you can believe it or not, might actually be onto something. On May 7th, Jays Views tweeted this out saying, Bo Bichette has a 683 OPS on the season. We're now looking at a 626 OPS over his last 500 plate appearances dating back to last year. He's just not the same guy. The power and speed have both disappeared. Now, since that tweet, Bo Bichette's numbers on the season have improved a little bit, but we're still looking at a guy whose power is just nowhere close to where it used to be.
Whoa, time for a quick shout out to the sponsor of this video. Hit your picks and knock it out of the park with Betway. Scan the QR code down below to join the action. Only available in Ontario. Must be 19 years of older to participate. Please play responsibly. Now, everyone, back to the content.
So, we have a bit of a funky situation. A longtime Toronto Blue Jay, who's definitely part of the core, I literally own the guy's jersey, who isn't playing how he used to play, but now might be open to signing a short-term deal. What do you do? Well, for me, if I was the Toronto Blue Jays management, if Bo Bichette is actually down to sign a one-year deal, I say you have to shoot that shot. No, Bo Bichette has not played his best brand of baseball over the past year, but we're still talking about a guy whose ceiling is as high as anyone in the MLB. And if you can get somebody like that who already is familiar with your team and familiar with your clubhouse on a one-year cheap deal, that's just a no-brainer in my opinion. Now, this would mean that the Jays would probably not be trading Bo Bichette at this year's trade deadline, as some analysts have insinuated, but fingers crossed, at that point, they're not even going to be sellers anyways, and that instead, they're going to be thinking about buying. Ultimately, a few months ago, I was thinking that there was no chance that Bo Bichette was going to be a Toronto Blue Jay after this year, but with this recent update coming from Jeff Passan, I think that the Toronto Blue Jays actually have a real shot to at least retain him for one more season. But folks, let me know what you think about all this in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, go Jays go.